Okay, and we are back. Continuing Ghost Trick Chapter 17. So let's try to find a way out of here. We just talked to everybody. Now I can do this. Okay, cool. Nope. Nice. Why is this machine shoving grapes at me?
Well, this looks like the private cabin of the top officer, doesn't it? This machine is probably for feeding him grapes while he lies in bed. Oh, it sounds heavenly.
I've been thinking about this for a while now. But don't you think that country's use of technology is just a little off? That's the guy who made a deal with said country.
Anyway, looks like the arm of this machine is a bit busted.
Okay, so I can move that. Ooh, telephones. That's convenient. Okay. Let's go to the engine. One line of the engine room isn't working right now. All that water probably damaged the line. Guess I don't need to go back there anyway.
The torpedo room, huh?
There might be another torpedo left there. I'll go check it out.
Oh, I get it. You're going to use a missile to ram the control room.
I don't know about ram. We don't want to blow Detective Jowd up, but something like that.
We'll climb up to the torpedo room too. It's definitely safer.
Okay, I'll see you there then. I don't know how you're going to get up there, but... Nope, they found a way.
Looks like the torpedoes can be launched manually with these switches. There are 2 tubes, so there should be one more left. Guess the first thing we have to do is load it into the tube. When it comes to missiles, you can count on me. Enter the coordinates of the command room into the torpedo. I just turned on the backup power. We ought to be able to use the switches now.
Okay, let's try it.
Good luck.
Switch won't budge. Maybe it's broken. I don't think the entire device is broken, though. It'll probably work just fine if only I could move this switch. Find a way to move it somehow. But I can't do it with my powers alone. Okay, so let me... Oh, I can't switch to missile. Okay, let's talk to missile then.
What happened to these 2 ladies?
I think that's up to us and our powers. Okay, well, that.
Yeah. What?
This is no time to be standing around unsure of ourselves. Will you lend me your strength missile?
Me? Of course I will. Count on it.
Okay, now I can switch to missile. Okay, so let's first see, because I think this one is the one we already used, is the problem there. So we swap the switches. There we go. That torpedo looks serviceable.
All set on this end too. But something's odd.
What is?
command room. It looks like it's slowly sinking.
Sinking?
Yeah, like it's completely run out of power. I wonder what happened.
I don't know, but I guess I'll find out.
Right. Okay, hop into the missile. I'll launch it for you.
Okay, thanks. Oh my god. I don't know why I keep doing that.
I already set the torpedo's course. I'll head toward the command room where Detective Jowd is. 12 seconds after launching, it'll pass by the command room for an instant. Instant will be your window of opportunity to jump over to the command room.
Okay, got it. And then we'll find a way to come back and save you. It'll probably be my last task tonight. Just hold on until we get back. Okay, come on, missile. Missile?
I'm sorry, I can't go. This is the time where I tell you I'm the bad guy.
No, yes. That would be ridiculous. What? I have foreign allegiances.
I just can't. How could I leave? Can't leave Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla behind. I can't do it.
Missile?
I saw up the switches so the missile can be launched. I was at first I thought that said can't be launched. Like I'm screwing you guys over. You'll have to do the rest, Sissel.
I can't do it either. You can't ask Missile to come with me after that. I understand exactly how he feels.
I want you to go, Missile. What? But Miss Lynn? I never fucking liked you anyway.
Yeah,
You staying
right.
here won't change our fate. If you go with Sissel, you might be able to make something happen, and that's our only hope. What if something doesn't happen? I'll never be able to see you again. Never, ever again. Even I can understand that. I couldn't stand that.
Don't worry, Missile.
Miss Camilla?
I just know you and Sissy can make something happen. I believe in you. I'll be right here waiting for you. We'll see each other then. Don't worry.
Miss Camilla? That's a good boy, Missile. As soon as they launch it, thank fuck he's gone.
What a yappy dog.
Now, are you ready? Remember, it's 12 seconds after I throw this switch.
We're ready.
Sissel,
Yes?
you never found out who you really were. That doesn't matter now. All I know is I'm truly glad I met you tonight. Thank you for everything.
And I'm glad I met you, Detective. But we're going to see each other again, right, Sissy? Right, Missile? That's right. We promised, little lady.
Of course we will. I'll never forget you, no matter what happens.
Here goes, then.
Good luck, friend.
I don't know what that word is. I'm assuming it's a bad thing, though. These 12 seconds are lasting an eternity. I strive to think of a way to save Lynn and the little lady the whole time. How can a ray of light, of hope, reach this far down into the deep sea? Before I can think of an answer, the 12 seconds are up. Is that a distance I can usually make? I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, for plot, yes, you can.
Yes, for plot. Also, man, she did a really good job turning the course to be right there. Detective Jowd.
I bet that big masked man did this. I'm going to bite him.
You better not. You might break your teeth. Phantom has lost power and is sinking. But I wonder what this masked man is going to do.
Let's talk to Detective Jowd.
Sorry for the wait, Detective Jowd.
Who are you? Are you Sissel?
Please excuse my appearance.
Can't believe you made it here. How is Camilla? What about Lynn?
Well, kind of a long story. Told Detective Jowd about everything that happened to the submarine Yonoa.
So the submarine is badly damaged? Why would he do that to his own submarine?
I wish I knew. I know the answer to that one. I know the answer to that one. It's because he's afraid of my powers. You followed us? I didn't even notice. It's been 10 long years, Detective Jowd.
Are you Yomiel?
So you remember me, do you?
How could I possibly forget?
So that's your real name, huh? Yomiel? That's right. Those people in the Yonoa were calling you Sissel. It's just an alias I was using for my deal with them. I didn't see any need to tell them my real name. Could you do me a favor? Would you let me ask you some questions? I've been trying to find out my true identity all night. Sure, go ahead. You literally just asked me some questions like 30 minutes ago, but whatever. I'm sure there's plenty we can still tell you. Ain't Detective Jowd?
Right.
Does he even know?
10 years ago, you were a top systems engineer, weren't you? Systems engineer? What's that? By the way, I'm a top Pomeranian, you know? Well, it's kind of hard to explain to a dog, but it's a person who's good at using computers.
I don't mean to brag, but I was one of the best in the industry. So I got roped into joining that project. Project? What project? It was a project aimed at reorganizing the nation's top secret information. The goal was to build a new system using multi-dimensional programming theory. I was asked to join the project by an agent of the government.
Doesn't sound like something a top Pomeranian would know anything about.
To me, it just sounded like another challenging job. However, the project was also the target of a secret plot. I bet you can imagine the kind of crime the nation's top secrets might attract. I never thought for the life of me I'd ever have to deal with spies.
It was never made public, but every organization in the country moved on this one. And then one day, the name of a certain programmer emerged as a suspect.
He was the guy who built the core of the system.
The police arrested you, and then that incident happened. He escaped from the interrogation room and took little Lynn as a hostage.
By the way, Detective Jowd, when was it that I was proven innocent?
About 6 months after your death. I'm so sorry, Yomiel.
10 years ago. My soul was split from my body and I lost everything. It was sealed in eternal darkness. I existed in this world, no question about that. But nobody noticed my presence.
The screen went black. Okay, no, now it's back.
I don't know what's going on with it tonight, but as long as it works. What good were my powers? They didn't. No, I didn't. They didn't help anybody. Okay. Not even the passage of time could heal my pain. In fact, it only made it worse. I wanted to disappear, but I wasn't even allowed to do that. The way Lynn described it is exactly right. Sinking slowly toward the bottom of an endless sea. An overwhelming feeling of loneliness and despair. And I wanted all of you to suffer what I was suffering.
And so that's why you murdered Alma.
That's right. I wanted you to know what it was like to lose everything you cared about. I wanted you to feel the same pain I felt.
What?
It was a twisted wish of a mind poisoned by infinite loneliness. Then, as I was pulling my revenge, I had an idea. I came up with a plan to use these powers of mine to make a deal.
There's something I just don't understand about that deal. I'm sure your powers would be very valuable to them. But what would you get out of the deal?
A new life.
Life?
I asked them for 2 conditions. Number 1 was that they help me with my revenge plot. The second was a rebirth for me.
Rebirth? A new beginning, eh?
I didn't care if it was a fake life, an artificial life. I just wanted a physical receptacle for my soul. Name, an identity, an everyday life. I wanted to grow old in a society that would accept me. And finally, I wanted to die surrounded by a loving family. That's the kind of life I asked them for.
A completely man-made life.
That's right, I knew I couldn't hope for anything more than that. To make it all come true, I knew it would take a lot of money and a lot of power. Why I decided to ask a national government to help me. Their response in the end was betrayal. They're making their moves much more carefully than I suspected. They sent spies to this country and researched my powers on their own. And they even figured out what Temsic was all about.
And you had no idea they were doing all this.
None at all. I was a fool. So then, why did they go to all the trouble of making a deal with you? Why didn't they just steal a hunk of the Temsic meteorite from the park? They couldn't. Huh? After the manipulator incidents, research was conducted in this country too. Reports were submitted to the government about the source of the manipulator's power. Huh. By Inspector Cobanella and the old pigeon guy. Inspector Cobanella and the old pigeon guy, eh? At first, the government didn't believe the report. But then they decided to put the park under surveillance, just in case. Surveillance, huh? It just looks like an ordinary peaceful park, but there are armed agents there at all times. Don't tell me that odd leaflet guy is one of them. No, not him. He's just a plain old odd person. That park is like a silent battlefield on an international scale.
So that's why they couldn't steal the Temsek meteorite.
And lately, under the pretense of building a housing site, they've been working on a plan to destroy that park in order to secure the Temsek meteorite. So that's it, eh?
So the upshot of your grand deal was this, eh?
Yeah, it's the ending I deserve.
But at least there's one thing you must be happy about.
What's that?
You've managed to seal me away at the bottom of the sea forever.
Well, shall we get started? Started with what? Bring Detective Jowd back to life, of course. What good will that do now?
But we promised! We promised Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla we'd save them.
And we can't do that without you, Detective Jowd. We've been guided by fate tonight to this place. I won't give up now.
Alright, fine. Let's see where it leads us.
Here we go then. Up to 4 minutes before your death.
So, where are we headed? God, I keep forgetting what kind of voice I gave him.
I don't know, man.
I feel like every time I'm giving him something new, almost.
I don't know, man. He's just a grunt.
But he's more than a grunt. He's particularly the bodyguard.
It's true, but he's just gonna die in the bottom of the ocean now.
We're not headed anywhere, Detective. What? There's only enough fuel on board to launch us away, Detective. We'll run out soon, and that will be our destination, Detective. What are you talking about? That would mean you're trapped here too. By the way, I am not human, Detective.
God damn it.
I am a remote-controlled robot, Detective. What? I mean, when you have this kind of revelation, you need to make a change, right?
Of course. Even though he probably wouldn't actually, his voice definitely wouldn't actually change, but go for it.
Well, I'm good with it. Your country's use of technology is just plain off. We get that a lot, Detective.
Jesus Christ.
Why would you go to all the trouble to do this? That's nothing but a shell there. It's hardly a threat anymore. Commander Sith likes to provide against any possibility, no matter how small, Detective. Possibility? What are you talking about? There's no need for you to know, Detective. Yeah, just slam that keyboard.
Oh, it's a gong.
Now it is time to say goodbye, Detective. In the end, your fate remains the same, it seems, Detective.
Grr.
I guess the mic didn't pick it up.
Oh, okay.
Camilla, forgive me.
It isn't over yet.
It isn't?
Remember what that big masked man said? Any possibility, no matter how small.
Possibility.
In other words, there must be a chance here somewhere. Possibility of turning this situation around. Yeah.
Huh. What is it, detective? Look at Yomiel's shell.
There's no ore emanating from his body. Of course there isn't. Temsic fragment is gone. Did this change in his shell? Was some kind of lead? Figured it out. I know what this possibility, no matter how small, is that they are afraid of. What is it? My time was perpetually stopped thanks to the power of Temsic. His body cycled between his moments that separated his life and death.
Right, but not anymore. The Temsic fragment has been taken away.
Exactly. So what does that mean? I get it. Your body won't come back to life anymore. The moment the Temsic fragment was removed, my shell became a regular corpse. Let's see, that means we can go back? Back to 4 minutes before your death?
But wait a minute. Exactly when is that death? That's simple. We'll find out. What do we get there? Let's move. And won't this change the flow of time in general? If he doesn't die in the first place, he doesn't kill Alma and all this shit. It just changes.
Yeah, it changes everything. I fell back through the cracks of time for what seemed like forever, and I saw it, the final death, at the end of this long night. Who exactly am I? Already seen all of the clues. All I have to do now is remember. Final journey to the truth starts now. Oh, man.
Oh, shit, if you do that, that means none of this, was important. None of this.
True. Yep, none of this happened. It was all for naught. Why did we even bother? I think before we jump into the final chapter, I think maybe we should cut
Take a break?
here. Yeah, I know it's like I know this one is a bit of a shorter one, but I get the feeling getting the final chapter in one
Oh, in one
episode
sitting.
will be yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's
better.
totally
So
fine with me.
I think we'll cut this episode here and then do the final chapter all at once.